So welcome to the UK News Today. Today news that I feel like a monster. Woman reveals horrific injuries her violent ex inflicted on her. The woman, who has asked not to be named, says she was left feeling like a monster after she was covered in cuts and bruises following a brutal beating by Joshua Rossbottom. A brave domestic violence survivor has revealed harrowing images of the abuse she suffered at the hands of her violent ex-partner. The woman, who has asked not to be named, says she was left feeling like a monster after she was covered in cuts and bruises following a brutal beating by Joshua Rossbottom. She had to be treated in hospital for her wounds, a court heard after Rossbottom hurled a ceramic vase at her face and shoved her into a wall after a bruise session in July. When police began to investigate the shocking attack, Rossbottom threatened her over the phone and said, "I'm coming for you." Rossbottom, 30 of Bushside, Manchester, has now been locked up after he admitted one charge of assault, occasioning actually bodily harm, and another of intimidating a witness. He was jailed for 9 months for what a jungle. The Manchester State Crown Court describes as a very serious matter which could have caused more damage than it did. The court heard the couple met in March 2016 on a date website and started living together at the victim's home 3 months later. Andrew McKinston, prosecuting, said the relationship was to a degree a somewhat volatile one. She says they would argue, but up until the accident, he had never used physical violence against her. On July 25 this year, they celebrated the defendant's birthday drinking with friends in Manchester City. Manchester Evening News report. On the way home, he went to buy more alcohol before returning to the house where they met other people. The court was told she went upstairs to bed around 11 p.m. while Robertson and others continued the party. Mr. McIntosh told the court, at around 3 a.m. she was walking by the disturbance and found furniture and glasses had been smashed. He pushed her backwards and she hit her head against the wall and then picked up a vase and threw it at her, striking her above her right eyebrow. The victim retreated to the bedroom and shut the door. Police were called the next morning through anonymous source, the court heard. She was taken in hospital for lacerations to her face and back of the head, and so bruising and swelling to the face and her right arm. Rossbottom was arrested and interviewed by police. He denied the offenses. He was released on bail on August 13. Mr. Baker said 3 days later, the victim received a telephone call from the unknown number. The defendant identified himself and said, "What are you saying I did? You watch. I'm coming for you." Robertson denied assault at the earlier magistrate's court hearing but charged his plea to guilty when the case went to the trial at court. In written impact statement, the complainant said she had lost her job as a result of the injuries. Mr. Gaston added she felt like a monster, wouldn't leave her house and she felt stupid. An immigration Andrew Smith said the defendant is dealing with a long and deep-seated addiction to alcohol. He has in the past been able to curb his streak and lead a life away from criminality. The issue of domestic violence is not long-standing, and to his credit, he explained his shock and described what he did. Supreme Court Grace sentenced Rossbottom to 5 months for assault, occasionally actually bodily harm, and 4 months for intimidation of the witness, to run consecutively in Manchester Mitchell Street Court, Crown Court on Tuesday, December 12. He told the defendant, "You were in drink and for some reason you lost control of yourself. You smashed a bottle and pushed the victim to the floor, where she fell, causing her a cut to the eye. Then you took 30 feet ceramic waste, lifted it above your head and threw at her, causing aerosol bruising. It was a serious assault that had the potential to cause more damage than it did. You then compounded the matter by threatening her in order to try to stop her giving evidence against you. That is a very serious matter. Witnesses have to be free in order to give the best evidence they can, otherwise the judicial system cannot survive." He added, "The assault is aggravated by the fact it was the earlier hours of the morning and in her own home. Only a casual sentence is the appropriate punishment for this behavior. Despite the charges, the defendant presented evidence of a contact between two parties via text message and social media. The judge did not apply the restraining order." Thanks for my violation to the UK News Today. I hope you enjoyed this news. Please subscribe to the channel to get more news. Thank you.